What's going on, y'all? Hope everybody's doing good. But I'm out here on the water today and we're gonna see if we can't catch some fish. If you guys watched that last video, which if you haven't, make sure you go back and watch that. But I'm gonna be fishing the same general area with same kind of techniques, throwing square bills, wake baits, maybe a big glide bait to see if we can't get a big bite, and a buzz bait in there to see if we can't catch any of these fish that are up shallow, feeding up to get fat this fall. And if this fails, we'll go a little bit deeper, try some jerk baits and crank baits, but let's see if we can't get on some bass this afternoon. I got a couple worries with today already. The biggest worry is that it's a bluebird sky, as y'all can see, not a single cloud. The other though is that the water temp is about 72 degrees. In that last video, the water temp was about 69 to 70, and then I was actually here yesterday but didn't film and did quite good, but the water was still colder. The only thing we really got going for us right now is that I've already marked a little bit of bait and that the wind's blowing up here, so we'll give it a shot. And if this fails, like I said, we'll go a little bit deeper and try to find some fish down there. We're just gonna be square billing this flat for now. There's one. There you go. Stay down. It's a decent one there, guys. He's not hooked too good, it don't seem like. There you go. It's a good spotted bass, guys. That's a fat one there. Ooh, look at that fish. First fish of the afternoon. I guess my worries about the water temps being a little bit too muddy was just me kind of overthinking it, because this wind clearly helps. We got ourselves a nice spotted bass. If I could get this square bill out of my net, I'll hold him up for y'all. All right, guys, look at that spotted bass right there. That's a real good one. Got a belly on him. Kind of a good fish. It's probably 2 pounds, maybe even a little bit over it. It's a good fish. We're gonna send him on his way. There, oh, aggressive guy. There he goes. Good fish for number one of this afternoon. Let's see if we can't put a lot more of those in the boat. Right at the boat. Oh, that's a baby. That's a little bass right there. A fish is a fish, guys. Little spotted bass. You gotta be careful with like that. I almost just got a hook in my finger. This little spotted bass, guys, just hit this square bill harder than that 2-pounder did. But there he is right there, still a little pretty fish. Hammered that square bill right at the boat, guys. Let's send him on his way. There he goes, little feisty guy. It's fish number 2. Let's keep it up, guys. There's one. He doesn't feel big either. Another little one. Little spotted bass, maybe. That sun's bright, it's hard to tell. He's bigger than that last one though, guys. Hooked his mouth shut. Get him in there. Ooh, these spotted bass are always scary because they like to flop just like that. Let's get him unhooked and send him on his way. Ooh, everything so far this afternoon all on a 3-foot Strike King square bill with the color being Sexy Shad. It's getting down there close to the bottom on this shallow flat. But there's that fish right there. That's a little chunk right there. Those are always fun to catch, especially on days like today when there's no tournament. Send him on his way. There he goes. Fish number 3, let's keep doing it. That's 3 fish in under 30 minutes. Let's keep it up. If this one keeps up, the bite should keep going on pretty solid. Because like I said, I was out here yesterday. It was similar to conditions, just with a little bit more clouds, not as bluebird like today, but the wind was the same and the bite was pretty solid. So I figured I'd strap the GoPro to the hat today and see what we can catch. So far we got 3 spotted bass. We're still in search of that largemouth. There's another right there. There's another fish. That's a little one. That's a real baby right there. Another spotted bass though. Oh, this guy's deciding to flop around. So the square bill's definitely working. If y'all saw the last video, I didn't throw a square bill as much. I threw more of a wake bait. But today I'm using a 3-foot Strike King square bill, like I just said with that last fish I caught like a minute ago. There's another fish right there, guys. Little spotted bass. Send him on his way. There he goes. So we're just gonna keep fan casting this square bill around, and it seems like the bite window is definitely opening up a little bit more. So we're gonna see what we can get into. That was a little mushy bite. Another dink. Felt him just kind of thump that bait. It's bigger than some of them for sure. Another little spotted bass. Ooh, look at that, guys, though. He T-boned it. If I get one hook out, I bet you he's gonna flop around like crazy. You spotted bass fishermen know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see if we can't keep this fish under control. There's that fish right there though, guys. Another dink, but a fish is a fish in my books. Keep catching them. Eventually we'll run into some bigger ones like that first fish of the day. But another pretty spotted bass. There he goes. Right before I cast it, I saw some bait flicker and I cast it in the direction, and sure enough he bit. So we'll keep just throwing this Strike King square bill and gonna hopefully run into some largemouth, but if it keeps putting spotted bass in the boat, that will lead to a fun afternoon. There's one. Just getting ready to either switch baits or change locations. This one feels a little bit better. Yep, it's a little bit better spotted bass right there. I was just getting ready to either switch baits or change the locations because it's been a minute since my last fish. And that's actually the biggest mistake many anglers make, is not changing baits or changing locations and getting hung up too much on one spot. Here, there's that fish right there. That one's a little bit better. Let's see if I can get that line out the way. There you go, guys. It's a decent fish right there. That's probably a pound, a little bit over a pound. It's a pretty fish. Been a minute since I caught one, but finally got a decent one. Kind of got away from the dinks right there. There he goes. Did a little jump for us. But what I was saying about the mistake many anglers make is not changing locations or changing baits is if you get too hung up on one bait and you're just keep throwing this one bait and it's not getting bit, that's a big mistake. Same thing with locations. Even you could be in the right general area but not right location. For example, I could be up there close to the mouth of the creek and fishing, but it's not doing well, but I come maybe 100 yards further down in the lake offshore and I'm catching some fish. So when I started tournament fishing, that was the biggest thing I've found is a problem, is getting too hung up at one spot or getting too hung up on one bait. I like to limit myself at 30 minutes maximum with one bait without a bite. In a tournament, it's going to be less. It's going to be probably 10-15 minutes max. But out here on a day like today, where I'm just fan casting on a muddy flat, I'll give it 30 minutes. And I was pushing that there. It's been a minute since my last fish, like I said, but we're going to give this spot a little bit longer, and if it keeps going slow, we're going to move down the lake and search for some bigger bites on hopefully some largemouth that are pushing a school of bait around. Alright guys, playing a dangerous game, which you experienced fishermen know what I'm talking about, but I left fish to find fish. I went from catching fish way down the lake over there at the mouth of the creeks that feed this lake. Now I'm about mid-lake. I'm sitting on a point right now. There's another point right up here. I'm a fish here in a little bit, but we're going to be throwing this Strike King jerk bait. This one dives about 11 foot, but I don't know if y'all can see, but I've marked some fish and marked some bait on the edge of this point where it meets the creek channel. So we're gonna throw some jerk baits and see if we can't find some bigger fish down here on the deeper water in bigger lake versus up shallow. Is my reel broken? I think my reel's broken, guys. Give it one more shot. That's a bummer. This reel's been one of my best reels for like the past couple years. Yeah, that doesn't sound right, guys. Looks like we're not throwing a jerk bait for the rest of the day. We'll just be throwing a crankbait and see what we can go on. We got about 30 more minutes before that sun goes down. But no more jerk baits, as that reel's not doing too good. But we're gonna see if we can't crank any up with the 6-inch Cloud 9. Alright guys, my game of leaving fish to find fish ended up not going too well. Found some bait and potentially some bass, but couldn't figure out what those bass wanted to eat in deeper water. So I really should have stayed up shallow and kept catching those spotted bass, whether they were dinks or not. If I kept catching fish up there, eventually I would have ran into some good ones. But we still caught a bunch of fish on a square bill earlier today, and it was still a successful day in my books. Just the game of leaving fish to finding fish never goes too well. But I hope you guys enjoyed what you watched, and if you did like the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see y'all next time.